Hi, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Design the Long Life You Love by Ayse Birsel. So, this is a book designed for people who want to live as long as possible and as joyfully as possible. And they also don't want to read a really heavy tome, right? So I described this book to someone else as a picture book for adults. And if you open it up just to any spread, you'll see that it's always got big pictures, right? And it has some text on one side and usually a really engaging, fun picture on the other. And that's by intention. This book can be read in one fell swoop, but it's also very easy to consume in 2-page increments, which makes it really easy to kind of get through, right? So a few things about Ayse herself. She is an industrial designer and a life coach. She has designed for some of the world's biggest brands like Target and Herman Miller and Toyota. She is originally from Turkey and she came to New York on a Fulbright, and New York is now her home. And the way that she frames this book up is very interesting to me because her guiding principle is to look to older people on how to live well. And what she constantly refers to are older people as sort of the astronauts of life. Do you see that illustration there? And so she's always, because she also comes from Turkish culture, which reveres their elders a heck of a lot more than we revere elders here in the United States, let's be honest. She is constantly looking to older people for their advice on how to love better, how to live better, how to find a sense of purpose, how to find friends. And so she uses those pillars, love, purpose, well-being, and friendship as the way to build this book. So what I'm going to do is just give you one example from each of those pillars to give you a taste of kind of the examples that she's given in the book, but she sprinkles exercises, interviews with gurus, pictures, questions to ask yourself through the book in each of those 4 sections. So first, we're going to talk about love. This I found very amusing because, not only does Ayse talk about love at the different stages of our lives, but she points out one friend in particular named Cindy Cornell, who is an older woman. We don't know how old she is, but she is a woman who only dates men who are younger than she is. She doesn't date men her own age or men who are older. And Cindy is very intentional about this, and she has a 3-step process for how she chooses who she will go out on a date with. So she always makes sure, first of all, that the person is a genuinely nice person. She will not date a jerk. Secondly, they do need to be attractive. They don't need to be conventionally attractive. They just need to be attractive to her, right? And then when she does go out on a date with them, she has her own evaluation criteria for what makes a successful date. And it might not be everybody's. In her case, she's looking for somebody who is a great conversationalist, but who doesn't need to kind of ask her a bazillion questions about herself. She actually loves learning about her date and what his life is like and what his perspectives on life are like. So that's her particular criteria, right? And then there's a little bit more on how she goes about actually selecting her dates from online, right? But you can check out the book to find out more. Secondly, she talks about purpose. And for me, this has been one of my big challenges, right? What is my purpose in life? And maybe I have many. But what I actually found really refreshing about Ayse's approach is that she encourages us to work on what brings us joy. Don't be attached to the outcome. And in fact, she actually tells us to sit down and be willing to start something without knowing the final destination, and to have the courage to do that. And her point is just that so many people are worried about where they've got to get to that if they don't know the end destination, they never even start. And so they lose this incredible opportunity to truly discover an amazing life path, right? The next section, Wellbeing, she kind of bookends it with two principles. One is around recognizing the good moments. And by that, she means to be in the present and to think and to enjoy the moments that bring us peace and contentment. And it can be as simple as having a wonderful dinner under the stars with your neighbors and telling stories into the evening, right? And writing that down. The way that she finishes that chapter is an exercise called Reconciling the Past and Future. And again, you'll see this is a very typical spread in her book. But on the one side, you see pictures of her 6-step process for reconciling the past and the future. It's a forgiveness exercise, essentially. And then on the facing page, she explains each step in simple detail of how you can kind of put past pains to rest so that you can heal and move forward, right? And then finally, the last section is on friendship, and she encourages us to always be making friends with people, particularly friends who are a lot younger and a lot older. And she uses the example of her friend Lee Kim, who goes out with an elaborate pipe cleaner hat in search of new friends. And once she makes a new friend, she gifts that elaborate pipe cleaner hat to her new friend. And so Ayse is very kind of pointed in making sure that we find unconventional ways to constantly make new friends in the world so that, yes, we can live well into our 70s, 80s, 90s and never be lonely, right? So the last thing I will say is that she ends the book by calling her book the OXO Good Grips of books. And I have an OXO Good Grip. I don't know if you do, but these were originally designed for older people with arthritis. But as it turned out, they're so well designed that anybody can use one of these peelers. And so that's sort of the principle behind Ayse's book, right? That we are using principles for good living from older people, but they can be applicable to us at any age and any stage of our lives. So the OXO Good Grips of books is Design the Long Life You Love. Thank you so much, Ayse, and I hope that you too will check out her book. Thank you.